Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a look with the Urban Decay Naked Weightless Skin. I don't think I like it. I think the shade's too dark. I don't think it's much better than some of the other ones I already use. And then we're also going to be trying out the Anastasia and Jackie Aina palette. So I've got my hair clipped back because it's drying, and I'm probably going to grab 2 more clips. So let's go ahead and look at the eyeshadow palette today to kind of see what we're going to do with the rest of our face. I've opened it a couple times and looked at it and then haven't actually tried it, so I want to actually give it a go. I wanted to get the palette, was for that shade Sponsored right here. So I think I'm going to try that because they're like kind of like a gray sweatshirt on. And I might try some of like the more like lighter shimmer, or no, I'm gonna do the white trust issues for shoresies, and then probably play with these purples in the top here to get the transition. So knowing that, usually it mostly affects like blush color, so I think I'll probably do like a more purpley blush. I have my Morphe palette, this quad of eyeshadow blushes from Makeup Geek, so I'll probably pick something in this bottom of one of these two, these like pinkier tones to kind of go with that. Let's get started with primer. For Christmas, I got the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. I really like it. My skin, I guess because it's winter or whatever, has been kind of like moisturizing. Has been needing more moisture, not moisturizing. And so this has kind of been nice because it's like very thick. I did put on a bit of makeup yesterday and I don't think I got it all off the bottom of my eyes. So I'll probably take a second and jump in with a tissue and wipe some of that off. Cool. And then I usually have a towel, mine's kind of dirty, that I'll just kind of like put on my legs so I can wipe things off. You'll see me use it in a second after I kind of get this primer worked through. All right, now that we've got that rubbed barely through, I don't usually put it on my eyelids. I'm gonna put a different primer on there. My mom bought me a Urban Decay Power Potion. I like this a lot, but I also use other ones. Oh, I have to remember I bought this Tatcha primer and I never use it. So I'm gonna put that in my little side thingy over here. Actually, I lied. I bought and haven't gotten much use out of the P. Louise face base. P. Louise base. Yeah. So I'm going to use that. Alright, so we got primer on. Let's go right into foundation. I wet my brush and left it in the bathroom. Yep, that checks out. Be right back. Alright, let's start with one pump. I just feel like it's not very like spready. I like to kind of do the 3 big areas first, and then kind of go in on the nose. The nose is its own special little flower. I feel like things that stick everywhere else sometimes have trouble sticking to your nose. It's still gonna bother me. So we got that, and I'm not doing real close to my under eye because I'm gonna put concealer on, so that won't matter too much. I just don't feel like it's really doing a great job like covering. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. Like, this doesn't look like it has like my face looks like it has foundation on, but here, especially in like this amazing ass camera, it just looks like a big breakout section. I'm going to blame my friend Mallory because she was telling me how she was having trouble with her skin while I was thinking like, oh, mine looks fine. And then as soon as she started talking about her skin breaking out, mine was like, you don't want her to feel bad, so, you know, we're gonna get a little shitty for you too. So I just feel like that's what happened. If I wanted to make this foundation work, I'm not wearing the fucking mic. Whoops. Let's do Tarte Shape Tape. We're getting close to the Ultra 29 Days of Beauty, and Shape Tape is always on sale, and I always feel like I don't know if I love it or hate it still. This also just like gives you like a lot of product. Like if you're new to makeup and you want to try concealer, I wouldn't feel comfortable telling you to go get this one because it's like very Instagrammy and like everyone wants that like big, you know, giant concealer sections, and it just really applies a lot, whereas like really I probably don't need this much, but I wanted it in that shape, so that's why we ended up with more. And like I feel like I didn't even really brighten, so I'll probably set with a light powder. I have been playing around with not setting my face as well as I used to, or as much, I guess. Mostly because my skin's been more like, how you say, like combination. Where like it's oily, like don't get me wrong, like I have oils that come through, but it's not really receptive to like oil reducing type products on it. I'm actually going to reach for a brush. If I know where I put my brushes, it'd be easier to reach for them. Just like a little circular kind of like concealer brush. I think I actually just discovered that I prefer to blend out the inner corners of my eyes with this little brush, because I feel like it like gets it a little more accurately, because I don't really want it on my lid. If I'm in a hurry, what I'll go ahead and do is just use whatever concealer I'm using for my under eye, and I'll just use that for priming my eyelids, especially for like work, because like it's not really like I care that much. I'm not like testing to see whether like my eyeshadow is good. I'm just kind of like wanting to wear eyeshadow, and so like I don't really care if I get creasing, because like it's just work. Okay, so just kind of like do big presses, because we're powdering our whole face. Like nothing shan't be powdered. I used to do it with a beauty blender, but it definitely adds a lot of powder. You have to be really careful. So we're going to go ahead and get everywhere. Notice this brush isn't going to get all of our crevices, and that's okay. We're going to take our beauty blender again, and with some loose powder, go ahead and really get under the eye at the place of a lot of creasing. And then we're going to go ahead and grab some more powder, and, oh, that's too much, and go like under this eye, and then the center of the forehead. And then for the rest of the face, we're just going to kind of bounce over it where we already laid the powder with the big brush, just to press it into the skin. And now you'll notice I done fucked up and forgot to put my eye primer on. I just go ahead and put a little bit of powder over those 3 lines so that the foundation doesn't kind of set into them. I also kind of do like a weird like chin kind of guy. And then it kind of also helps with like highlighting, because you want it to be like, you want the powder of the eyeshadow that potentially falls under to like blend in with the powder, so that when you brush the powder off, it takes the eyeshadow with it. And that's how that works. So if you just do a little bit, you essentially like blend it into your skin. I'm going to go ahead and do the P. Louise face base. I'm just going to go ahead and put a little dot. If I remember correctly, you don't need much of this. And then just kind of like get that base all over the place. Before I finish eyeshadow, I'm going to do the rest of my face just so I don't look super weird. I'm going to grab a brow pencil. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Definer. It's the one that's like angled like this instead of being the straight tip. These were on sale for Ulta's last 21 Days of Beauty, and because, I mean, like, they weren't the pencils that I normally get, so I just switched between whichever one they have on sale. So like right now they're starting again, and they have the regular brow definer, so I'll just pick up 2 more of those. For filling in brows, I have most of my shape. I just need to fix it a bit, so I just kind of start by like lightly going over and like solidifying the inside shape. And I have a little bald spot right there. And then for this here, I'm going to go ahead and thicken up what I already have. Now we kind of have that line. And then under here, I'm a little bit light. So we're going to go under here. And this is not hard pressing. This is very light pressing. And I want to do more natural brow. So that looks okay, but it's not a brow shape. So I'm missing a little bit of an arc right here. So I'm going to go ahead and just put my pencil over it, because I've done this before, and draw my arc. And when I do that, I'm starting here, and I'm not going straight. I'm going into the brow, and I'm hitting it before it gets to the end, because you want that little end to be thin. And then I'm going to take this and then just kind of like connect it over and then fill it in. It's kind of like winged eyeliner. So like I'm okay with that shape. And then we take the brush and we just kind of like, it's like blending it through kind of. But be careful when you're dragging the spoolie through the parts of the brow that there's no eyebrow under, like the ones that you just like fucking added to your face, because that will like just make that go away. So like the center, like here where like I have the eyebrows, I don't mind like really raking it through. But when it gets over here, and I drew this whole like top section on, maybe a little lighter hand with it, because I already know I want that shape. Do I have some brows that I probably should tweeze? Yes. Am I going to stop and do them right now? No. So now we're going to actually start the eyeshadow. So I primed my eyes, but I always like starting with a big fluffy brush. I'm going to go less fluffy today because I don't know how crazy I want this pink. I'm going to go in with a Morphe M441, this fluffy guy right here. And I have one of those color switch things. It's that annoying noise. I'm just going to rub it on that. Let's just YOLO, and I'm going to go right into Supreme, which is that pink right there. And my eyes are hooded, so I try to do my makeup with my eyes open. Well, not like super, hold on, you'll see. So I'm not like closing my eye completely. So we're just going to take that first transition color and get that all up in the crease. And once we've laid a lot of it down, we're going to go ahead and wing it out towards the edge of the eye. That's actually not a bad transition shade. It looks a little bit more intense in the pan. So again, just a second layer of that. Just intensifying that up a bit. Just bringing it up a little higher, bringing it a little closer, and then just winging it out. And then once my brush is more used, it already has the product dispersed, we're going to bring it up a little higher and diffuse it out. So I'm going to do one eye on camera and one eye off camera. I usually like doing like 3 shades. I use one that's light, one that's medium, one that's dark. So that's our light one, and then we're going to grab another fluffy brush and do our medium one. Just something a little more pointed. I don't even know if that's more different. M573. So now I'm going with the shade Pinker, like a mauve. And just kind of keep that more on the outer corner. So I'm not going to bring it all the way in, but I am going to kind of keep it just kind of like out here a bit. And it's actually kind of combining with that pink Supreme shade really well. And I'm not taking this down. So you don't want anything below your lash line. And then even kind of keep it up to like, not the bottom of this one, but the bottom of that one. So I'm not bringing it down because my brush is big and it's going to just kind of make that look bigger. So now that I've got that color in there, I think it looks pretty good. And then I'm going to take a touch more of Pinker back on this brush. Just kind of get more of that halo over the top of that color, which looks really pretty. I'm going to go grab an even smaller brush. I actually really like this brush. This one kind of matters. This is the M433 from Morphe. Okay. So that's from the side, which take all their pictures that way, which doesn't make sense to me. The front. This is the side. So you see how it's kind of like, it's wide, but it becomes kind of like a point. I really like that. So I'm going to grab Credit, which is this brown. I thought about doing the purple, but I don't think I want that because I'm going to do the green. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a little bit of Credit. And I think I remember her saying she was really, really happy with this brown because it's really hard to do browns. And she was saying that, like, she was really happy with, like, the smoothness of it. And honestly, touching it, yeah, like, even with my brush, you can kind of feel it's kind of smooth. So I'm just going to go ahead and I raise my eyebrows a bit for this one just to not get it everywhere. We're going to pop this one in the outer corner of the eye. I just place it first and then wriggle it around later. So we don't have to worry about going as far out with this shade, so it's darker. So we're going to go ahead and do that there. And I'm going to go back in with the brush I used for the purple shade, mauve shade, and then just kind of go over there again, just to help blend it out without carrying the color too far. Now, I'm going to do my other eye. Now, most exciting part is putting Sponsored all over this. I don't fuck with brushes because they never work. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this right on. That's really pretty. I will lie and use the brush for the inner corner. I have this one I really like from NYX. That is the NYX number 33. Number 33 brush, and it's just really small and flat. So I'm gonna grab, so I want to use Zam on its own. So I'm gonna grab Soleil, or Soleil, Cirque du Soleil, idiot. And just put that in the inner corner just to kind of like soften that transition a touch. So you can see what that kind of added. So now just to make the crease look a little better, we're gonna go ahead. Actually, what I like doing is grabbing an even pointier brush. I have this one from Sigma, which is the E45 small tapered brush. And that little point is what I want, just to kind of get in there and like, I don't want to like take away from the shimmer, but I like, do you see the difference between like this eye and this eye? The shimmer at the edge is a little more diffused. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just do that for this one. And then I'm gonna take this brush that I had credit on. I'm not gonna add anything to the brush. I'm just gonna kind of pat over the outer corner. We can go ahead and wipe away the powder under our eyes, which isn't really much of left. It's kind of just like faded at this point. And then for the under eye, and then I'm gonna grab credit, which is that darkest brown, and I'm just gonna kind of very lightly, just kind of like tap, tap, tap. And we're gonna take that and just start right at the edge and just kind of pat it. Don't go all the way into the inner corner though. That did nothing. Okay. This one I'm okay with taking to the corner because we're starting to kind of like spread things around. And then with the fluffy brush we talked about before, we're going to grab Supreme. And we're just going to kind of step back. I really like it. I'm definitely going to do more looks with it. This is like not a very casual one. I feel like if I want to do something more like daily, I'd probably grab some of the browns in the bottom and like maybe like Douala's and then like the orange. That would look cute. So I did my up mascara for the upper lash. So I'm going to go ahead and brush, zoom it back out, and brush the rest of the powder off my face. And then we're going to go with bronzer. I'm going to use the Butter Bronzer. I don't know why it took me so long to start using this. I didn't like it. I had tried it a long time ago, and I think I like returned it to Ulta or something. But then I tried it again, and I'm like, oh, I actually like really like this. I'm just going to get the corners of the forehead. And don't go in the center, because we want that light there, right? And then what I really do is I lightly tap in it, tap off, swoosh the hair back, and then I get my neck. And I'm not pushing at all. I'm like lightly kind of going over, just because my body hates me and it tans very weird. So like my face itself is like one color, and I'm not like, I can hear like Scott Barnes like rolling over in his grave. I'm not going for contouring. I'm not trying to add shape or definition. I'm literally just adding some color from this line of my neck up. And then as promised, we're gonna do that blush. So I'm gonna grab this pinky, this shade, I don't think I've tried it yet, called Spellbound from Makeup Geek. I'm just gonna I like putting it here and then moving it back and forth. Then I smile, not to get the center of my cheek, but to get the side. And then just kind of fade it. Okay. And then sometimes if I'm feeling super OCD, I'll grab my bronzer brush and just kind of go back over that area. Go back over that area. Those were the words I just used that you could not hear because there was a brush in my mouth. And then we're gonna add highlight. I picked up the Jaclyn Hill highlighter palette. We're gonna go in with the pinky-ish one. Mesmerized. Like where is it? Is it there? We don't know. I can see it more on the viewfinder than I can see it on my face. I always do a touch on my nose, and I say a touch because I mean, like, if you do too much, it's like, it's more than a touch and it doesn't look good. I'm gonna grab a Jeffree Star liquid lipstick. I bought it and I don't wear it enough. I bought it for fall and then promptly stopped wearing lipstick. This is Posh Spice. Here is the finished look. Zoom back in. I really like how the eyes came together. I think that's my better side. I think that the purples and the pinks and the greens just look really pretty together, and it really came together with that mascara. I always get a little bit of mascara in my upper waterline, so that kind of helps with that transition. Not loving this acne, so again, I don't think I like this foundation. I already kind of see some like creasing up here, even though we did a lot of work, which usually works for other foundations to not get it there. Blush looks cute. So yeah, that's what we have for today. Thank you for coming to my channel, sitting here, hanging out, listening to me talk about makeup. I'll see you next time.